Hello and welcome. I'm now going to tell you the story of how Tyr lost his hand by Fenrir the Unbound. Loki had 3 children by the giantess Angrboda. The oldest was the great wolf Fenrir, the second was Jormungandr, the giant serpent, and the third was the grim daughter Hel. These 3 children were at great concern to the gods. Odin was quick to decide what would be done with the 2 youngest children. Hel would be sent to the underworld, where she would become the death goddess. Jormungandr was cast into the ocean, where he encircles the world, biting his own tail. With Fenrir, the gods agreed that it would be best to bring him to Asgard, where they could keep a close watch on him. As he grew, however, the gods realized they could no longer keep him in their home, as he would become far too dangerous. They also knew that he could not be set free to roam the world of the mortals, so they decided to try and bind him with chains and rope. The cunning gods convinced Fenrir that it was only a game, merely a test of his strength. The first was a powerful iron named Lading. As strong as it was still no match for Fenrir. He broke free. They tried again with a chain called Dromi, this one twice as strong as the first. Still, it was no match for the great wolf, and he broke free once again. Deeply concerned, the gods sent for help from the dwarves, who were the greatest craftsmen in the universe. They asked them to create a chain or rope that could bind the great wolf. The dwarves set to work and created a feather as smooth as silk called Gleipnir. Gleipnir was made from 6 things that do not exist: the sound of a cat's footsteps, the beard of a woman, the roots of a mountain, the sinews of a bear, the breath of a fish, and the spittle of a bird. All these things do not exist except in the safekeeping of the dwarves. Since they did not exist, they were impossible to struggle against and would therefore bind even Fenrir with all his strength. When the gods challenged Fenrir to break free of Gleipnir, he grew suspicious. The rope seemed light and silky. It would hardly be a challenge of his strength. He knew there must be magic involved, and that it'd likely be a trick from which he'd be unable to escape. He also did not want to be accused of cowardice, so he insisted that he only be bound if one of the gods placed his hand in his jaws as a sign of good faith. Tyr looked at the other gods, who were busy looking at each other, wondering what to do next, and then stepped forward, placing his hand in the wolf's mouth. He was fully aware of the risk he was taking, but knew that the wolf must be bound. With his request met, Fenrir allowed himself to be bound by Gleipnir. When Fenrir found himself unable to break free, he snarled and bit down, taking Tyr's hand in a painful retribution. Tyr became known as the one-handed god in a result of his bravery, but his scar on his arm was a constant reminder of his sacrifice. By sacrificing his hand, Tyr made the world safer for gods and mortals alike. He earned the respect of the other gods and the devotion of the mortals. And this is why today we have set aside a day in his honor, Tyrsday, or rather, Tuesday. I hope you guys enjoyed my story, and now you know how Tyr lost his hand. Happy Tyrsday, everyone.